In this section, we will cover verbs that are like gustar. Gustar is a verb that requires the use of an indirect object pronoun. Now, just to remind you, indirect object pronouns are pronouns that express to or for someone. So, certain verbs require the use of indirect object pronouns, to or for me, to or for you, etc. These verbs all function similarly. That is to say that they are done to or for someone. So below you'll find some verbs, and you need to memorize them and know how they work. So let's take a look first at the verb aburrir, which means to bore. So in Spanish, we would say that something is boring to me. Encantar means to like something, so you would say that something, for example, is pleasing to me or very pleasing to me. Faltar is also used with indirect object pronouns. So you would say that something is lacking to you, or fascinating is a lot is more similar to what we have in English. So fascinar is to like something very much. So you would say it is fascinating to me. Okay, so these are all verbs that again require the use of to me or for me or to you or for you, etc. Just in their nature, if you will. Okay, so let's take a look at the examples. Esta película me aburre. So this movie bores me is kind of how we would express it in English, but in Spanish we have to say this movie is boring to me. So notice we have that to me part there. Me encanta comer aquí. Okay, in English I love to eat here, but more directly translated from the Spanish would be eating here is pleasing to me. Okay, the next example, nos fascina ir a Macayos. Okay, so we love to go to Macayos, or a more literal translation would be going to Macayos is fascinating to us. Okay. The next example, no les importa si comen o no. They don't care if they eat or not. Or, it is not important to them if they eat or not. Okay, you kind of see how we can kind of play with the words a little bit as far as English goes, with our flexibility with using these indirect object pronouns. But in Spanish, it's pretty rigid. You have to use an indirect object pronoun with these particular verbs. Okay, the next example says, a ella le molesta la comida italiana. So Italian food bothers her, or Italian food is bothersome to her. And the last example, esta camisa no me queda bien. This shirt doesn't fit me well. Okay, is how that translates as far as English goes. Okay, so again, verbs like gustar, study these verbs, note how they work, how they have to use an indirect object pronoun with them. I would say take some time and practice with these. You'll probably have some homework that go along with it, and we'll probably practice these in class. So take advantage of that practice and do some studying.